Dr. Alice Chen was ecstatic. She had finally done it. She had created a portal that could connect to parallel universes. She had spent years working on this project, hoping to unlock the secrets of the multiverse. She had faced countless challenges, setbacks, and failures, but she had never given up. She had sacrificed her personal life, her health, and her sanity for this moment. She had ignored the warnings of her colleagues, her friends, and her family, who thought she was obsessed, reckless, and delusional. She had proven them all wrong. She stood in front of the portal, which looked like a large metal ring with wires and cables attached to it. It was connected to a massive generator that powered the device. She had set up the portal in a remote location, far away from any civilization. She didn't want anyone to interfere with her experiment or to witness her success. She wanted to be the first and only person to explore the parallel worlds. She had a backpack with some supplies and equipment, including a camera, a recorder, a flashlight, a knife, and a gun. She also had a device that could control the portal remotely and a tracker that could locate the portal in any universe. She had prepared for every possible scenario, or so she thought. She turned on the portal and watched as a blue light filled the ring. She saw a glimpse of another world, a world that looked similar to hers, but different in some ways. She felt a surge of curiosity and excitement. She grabbed her backpack and stepped through the portal. She emerged on the other side and looked around. She was in a forest with tall trees and green grass. She heard birds chirping and insects buzzing. She smelled fresh air and flowers. She felt a warm breeze and a gentle sun. She smiled. This was amazing. She had traveled to another universe, a universe that was peaceful. She took out her camera and started to take pictures. She wanted to document everything she saw. She also took out her recorder and started to talk. She wanted to record her thoughts and observations. She said her name, the date, the time, and the location. She described the portal, the forest, and the atmosphere. She expressed her feelings, her hopes, and her plans. She said she wanted to explore this world and find out what made it different from hers. She said she wanted to see if there were any people, any animals, any civilizations. She said she wanted to learn as much as she could and then return to her world and share her discoveries. She walked through the forest, following a path that seemed to lead somewhere. She saw more plants and flowers, some of which she recognized and some of which she didn't. She saw more birds and insects, some of which she identified and some of which she didn't. She saw some animals, some of which she knew and some of which she didn't. She saw a deer, a rabbit, a squirrel, a fox, and a bear. She took pictures and recorded her comments. She was fascinated by the diversity and harmony of life in this world. She reached the end of the path and saw a clearing. She saw a lake with clear water and fish. She saw a cabin with a chimney and a porch. She saw a boat with a paddle and a net. She saw a garden with vegetables and fruits. She saw a sign with words and symbols. She realized that there were people in this world. People who lived in this cabin, people who fished in this lake, people who grew this garden, people who wrote this sign. She wondered who they were, what they looked like, what they spoke, what they believed, what they knew. She wanted to meet them, to talk to them, to learn from them. She approached the cabin and knocked on the door. She waited for a response, but there was none. She tried to open the door, but it was locked. She looked through the window, but it was dark. She guessed that the people who lived here were not home, or maybe they were asleep. She decided to wait for them to introduce herself, to explain her situation, to ask for their permission, to apologize for her intrusion. She hoped that they would be friendly, that they would be curious, that they would be helpful, that they would be understanding. She sat on the porch and looked at the lake. She saw the sun setting and the sky turning red. She saw the stars appearing and the moon rising. She saw the fireflies glowing and the crickets singing. She felt a chill in the air and a hunger in her stomach. She took out her flashlight and turned it on. She took out her knife and opened a can of food. She ate and drank and felt better. She took out her gun and checked the bullets. She felt safer. She took out her device and looked at the portal. She saw that it was still on and still connected. She felt relieved. She decided to stay here for the night and then continue her exploration tomorrow. She was tired but happy. She had traveled to another universe, a universe that was peaceful and beautiful. She didn't notice the shadow that moved behind the trees. She didn't hear the growl that came from the bushes. She didn't see the eyes that glowed in the dark. She didn't feel the claws that ripped through her flesh. She didn't scream the pain that filled her body. She didn't know the horror that ended her life.